Hey everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, January the 20th, 2025. And the moon, which I always start off with, the moon represents the public tone, the general public reactions. And we start the new work week with the moon in Libra. So Libra, emotionally moon Libra, is more sociable, more cooperative, more seeking a win-win situation. However, by mid-morning Pacific time, the moon will be squaring or in tension with rational communication Mercury. So the moon can be very emotional and subjective, in tension with Mercury, which is more rational and analytical. So this whole mid-morning, it's not very favorable for meetings in business or personal relationships because you're not on the same page. Now, the moon will go void of course, which I mention every week, means the moon in Libra is going to be changing signs into Scorpio. But while the void of course means it's no longer making any aspects to the other planets. So this means there's no energy. Everything is flat. So the moon is void of course from 8:35 p.m. Pacific time through Tuesday at 8:21 a.m. And then it moves into Scorpio. Scorpio is all this passionate, intense energies. So moon void, of course, I always look at it as like a mini Mercury in retrograde. It's good for reflection, for introspection, for staying the course. You can continue doing what you've been doing, but it's advised not to introduce any important new events or projects because the energy is flat. It's not going to go anywhere, or it's going to take so much effort to get any type of results. So that's your moon void of course. So on Tuesday, we wake up, the moon's still void of course, till 8:21 a.m. Pacific time, at which point it moves into Scorpio. And Scorpio is this all or nothing energies, where Libra's a people pleaser. That Scorpio energy tends not to be. It knows what it knows. And the sun in Aquarius is now crossing over Pluto once a year. And Pluto is the ruling planet for Scorpio. So there's a real spotlight of the sun on Pluto, which could trigger these really intense encounters. And the emotional moon in Scorpio will be in a stressful angle to the sun Pluto around noon Pacific time, and maybe go for an hour or so. And then that too shall pass. So Monday, with the moon in Libra, the energy, there's more cooperation. On Tuesday, that Scorpio moon and the sun crossing Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, it is favorable for doing a lot of introspection, research, studying, but it's very, it's this all or nothing kind of energies. Could care less about people pleasing. On Wednesday, the moon's continuing in passionate Scorpio, profound Scorpio, and it's going to be in harmony with responsible, pragmatic Saturn late afternoon Pacific time. You're going to be feeling with that moon Saturn more secure, more comfortable with business. Gives you a little bit more confidence interacting with others in the business world. On Thursday, the moon continues in all or nothing passionate Scorpio, but this is a very active day. Mercury, decision-making Mercury, will be in harmony with innovative Uranus. This is the mind. Mercury is open to new ideas, thinking out of the box, a lot of originality, being more open to technology. At the same time, that Mercury, as it's great with innovative Uranus, it's opposite the retrograde Mars. Remember, Mars is retrograde till February 23rd. Mars is all that ambition, aggressive energy. When it's retrograde, it's like you're spinning your wheels. It's taking so much longer to get the same job results. So that Mercury opposite, which could be confronting others, Mars in retrograde, you could be irritated or having a lot of tension trying to explain to other people these new ideas. And yet with Mars in retrograde, you might be getting angry that they're pushing back. But this too shall pass. Also on Thursday, the moon in Scorpio, an all or nothing Scorpio, will go void of course at 4:04 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, at which point the moon leaves kind of deep, intense Scorpio, and at 8:30 p.m. moves into Sagittarius. Sagittarius is enthusiastic, it's optimistic, it's outgoing. There's lots of motivation to expand your horizons, from traveling to education to teaching to publishing. And on Friday, that moon in Sagittarius is going to be in harmony with the sun in Aquarius around 6-7 a.m. Pacific time. So when the moon and the sun are in harmony, it's easier to communicate with others. You just feel all the energy is more effortless. And by early evening, Pacific time, the moon and Sag will be interacting with expansive Jupiter. Jupiter is the ruler of Sag. So there's a lot of this Sagittarius Jupiter energy early evening, which is ideal, as I said, for education, for traveling, for marketing, for making long-range plans and feeling really positive about it. And it would be very favorable socially because we're going into the weekend. Saturday, now, the moon's in Sagittarius, but around 5-6 a.m. Pacific time, it's forming a square or tension with Saturn. So people on the west coast of the United States, chances are you're sleeping. For the rest of the world, just for an hour or two, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Pacific time, that moon Saturn, you might be feeling isolated, lonely, really worried about any emotional connections. But after that passes, Venus, pleasurable, sociable, romantic Venus, will be in harmony with Mars. Now, Mars is still retrograde, but having Venus in harmony with Mars, the Mars in retrograde is always reflecting on past actions and where you might have been regretting them, or where you're really reflecting on how to express your angers and your resentments in a more healthy way. So having Venus in harmony with Mars, and it's Saturday, it's very favorable for expressing yourself creatively, romantically, going out on a date, going out with a party on Saturday night, attending any type of entertainment venue. Venus, Mars, a lot of passion. On Sunday, the moon in Sagittarius, adventurous Sagittarius, goes void of course at 1:40 a.m. to 5:43 a.m. Pacific time, at which point the public moon then moves into Capricorn. Capricorn is more traditional, it's more cautious, it's more conventional. It's really good for getting your affairs in order, for maybe getting ready for the new work week on that Monday. And discerning Mercury will be in harmony with Neptune all day, and that can be highly intuitive, compassionate, caring. And Venus, Sociable Venus, creative Venus, will be in harmony with Uranus. Venus-Uranus, you could be making new friends. You could be being more open to new creative ideas and vision. And that Mercury to Neptune can certainly open you up to more inspiration, more the imagination. So there's quite a bit of planetary activity this week. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.